It came in hot.
I hate puppies. It's good podcast.
I feel threatened. What's going on, everybody? That's the end of that episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. Was that quick enough for you, Troy?
I'm worried.
Did I get it? Is that what you wanted, though? You wanted quick,
I
right?
did want quick. That's pretty quick.
I got you, dude.
You got me covered.
You go, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to self... Jeez, I'm
killing it.
Can you do it? Can you just do it? Just do it.
The only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems. That's what we're here to do tonight and every week.
Perfect.
Was that good enough?
Good enough.
I mean...
You are Knuff. You are Knuff. Have you watched that Barbie movie, dude?
No, dude. Why would I watch that? I have zero desire to see that movie.
Because you're a self-respecting man. I get it.
Okay. So we're on the same page.
So you haven't seen it?
No, and I haven't heard good things about it. But see, I have two young boys, so... I mean, honestly, I'd watch it if they wanted to, but luckily I don't have to.
My girls made me watch it.
You've seen it a bunch.
I've seen it once.
Oh, they've seen it a bunch.
They've seen it.
You own it.
I do own it.
Yeah.
But that's only because renting it and owning it was a difference of dollars.
Yeah.
So it's like, may as well own it. And it's paid for itself because the girls have watched it.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Fine cinema.
Dude, it's not that bad.
It's awful.
No. If you watch it through a frat guy lens, it's actually glorious.
I'll take your word for it.
But you got to watch it through the lens of like a recovering frat guy.
Okay. Well, that's what I am. So
both of us are recovering frat guys. You know, we've made it out.
We did,
and we're recovering. I don't say that I'll always be a frat guy. It's like a heroin addict. Like you can stop, but you're always an addict.
So you don't have boys, but I'm sure you thought about this because I know you thought about having boys. Like, would you want your son to join your fraternity, a fraternity, much less your fraternity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think I would too. What about another fraternity? Would that upset
if my
you?
fraternity was not offered at his university?
Yeah, that's a good
then
point.
Of course.
Yeah.
But if my fraternity was there and he was like, they're all dorks, I'd be like, I'm coming up next week.
I mean, it's a tough sell because whereas I got my job at the university and best friends for life there, it was awful for my schooling. But I would put that more as a reflection of me because, I mean, we had doctors and shit. Like, our GPA was actually, even with me dragging it down, we had a high GPA. Like, we had some really smart people in my fraternity.
Yeah, I don't think that it hurt my schooling.
Uh-huh.
I mean, all right, so my freshman year, I got a 3.0 my first semester, and then I got a 1.6 my second semester. The second semester was far worse than any fraternity ever was, but I realized what that was when I went to whatever they call that, like orientation, like before school starts.
Yeah.
I went and I met this guy, and he was like the one who was like signing you up for classes and asking the questions. And he looks at me and he says, yeah, you can't take that class. And I was like, why is that? And he goes, that's an 8 a.m. class. He's like, I know exactly who you are. He's like, you are me.
Yeah.
When I was a freshman. He's like, I'm looking at you. You can't do an 8 a.m. class.
You're not built for 8 a.m.
You're not built for 8 a.m.
Yeah.
class. And I was like, that's kind of bullshit. Like, that's not cool. And he goes, look, trust me. And he override a bunch of stuff. And he goes, you now have class 10, 11, 12. Back to back to back.
Knock it out.
And then you go to lunch. And then you can go do whatever the hell you want. But you have your 3 classes, 10, 11, 12. Then he's like, on Tuesday and Thursday, your classes are like, you've got an 11, then you've got lunch, and then you've got your like 1 o'clock. Like, this is how you have to do it. You can't go to campus and come back, and you'll never make an 8 a.m.
See, what's sad is, like, I had no guidance for any of that, and your parents or your family should be giving you that advice. So it's kind of sad that you didn't get that guidance either. You got it from a rando.
I got it from a frat.
But at least you got it.
Yeah.
Like, because honestly, that's really how everyone, fraternity, sorority, or GDI, that's how you should approach it. Like, you got to eat. Like, these freshmen, they get just kicked in that. They're standing on the side of the pool, and they just get Sparta kicked into the college experience, most of them. At least that's how it was for me. So, like, you're better served wading in that bitch like a beach. And that's what the 10, 11, 12 classes do for you.
He said you can't have a gap and you can't have an 8.
Oh, yeah, gaps were awful, too. Like, on a beautiful spring day, if I had a gap and I walked by a fraternity house and guys were sitting out on the front porch drinking beer, guess who wasn't going to class the rest of the day?
That was essentially what happened.
Yeah.
So that first semester, when I had Mike Lawrence, who will throw that dude's man, when I had the Mike Lawrence schedule.
Was that the fraternity you ended up joining?
No, but I did rush them, and I walked in there, and I was like, hey, I'm a Mike Lawrence disciple.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They were definitely like my number 2.
Uh-huh.
But I got a 3.0 because of that schedule he gave me. Not because I was any smarter. Not because I was drinking any less.
Yeah.
Got a 3.0. Next semester.
You designed it better.
Next semester, I was like, well, I have to take what I can get.
Yeah.
Had an 8 a.m. And then I had like a 1 o'clock and then like a 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Exactly what he warned me of. Sure enough, I'm missing the 8 a.m.
Yep.
And then if I do make it to it, I'm going back to watch Baywatch or Springer or some bullshit. And then I'm never making it back onto the campus.
Yeah.
He was right. I went from a 3.0 to a 1.6. Now, when I was pledging the fraternity, they were like, you get your ass to class and you have mandatory study hall. So even though I was strung out, I did far better.
Yeah.
I think I got a 3.0 when I pledged.
Nice.
Because they beat my ass.
Yeah.
So I would say it was actually good for me.
Yeah.
But the biggest threat to my education was me.
Yeah.
By far.
That's probably true of everyone. And really, it should be. I mean, at that age, you should be able to get yourself to class. And,
God, no.
And study on your own. But, like, I tell people, like, my college experience, like, no one in my family went to college. I applied to one college. It was the one I could drive to.
And you got in.
And I got in.
Thank God.
And I didn't get the freshman experience because I didn't go live on campus. I commuted. So I missed a lot of 8 a.m. classes because of traffic and stuff. Like, if you were more than 10 minutes late, which was a surprise, right? Because I'm thinking, who's keeping tabs on this? This is college. No, they kept tabs on it.
Yeah.
You were late. You weren't counted. You missed a certain amount. You, air quote, missed a certain amount of days. You didn't pass your class.
That's right.
And, I had no idea what I was getting into. I didn't study at freshman, sophomore, junior year of high school. I didn't study. C's were totally acceptable in my household. Totally cool. Freshman year, we did work release or whatever they call it. I mean,
release.
Senior year, they did work, whatever.
Oh, okay.
You left school at 11:45 and went to work, and I went to work every day. My senior year, if you had an AB average and you didn't miss any school, you didn't have to take your midterms or your finals. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, let's do that. Like, I can do that. And with the slightest of effort, I did that.
That's it.
Didn't fail any midterms or finals. My GPA my senior year was like a 3-something. And voila. Like,
off to college.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But again, I was not helped. It was all just shooting from the hip, figuring out as I go.
Yeah, that dude saved my ass, or I would have been one of those typical.
Could y'all not pledge as freshmen? Is that why you didn't pledge? Because I literally
could not.
From day one, like my freshman year, I was pledging until like February. So
I did half my college experience not in a fraternity, and the second half in a fraternity.
Yeah,
that was like just my choice.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to pledge just yet. I was scared of all the women.
Yeah, I could see that for you.
Yeah, I was freaked out.
Yeah,
freaked out.
Gross,
disgusting.
Hot chicks just cutting loose all the time.
Ugh, I couldn't.
Thank you.
Couldn't afford all the condoms, so I had to wait till
for other people.
I could afford condoms. Then.
Yeah.
I went for it. But that Barbie movie.
Yes.
So the whole premise of this movie.
Did we not talk about this on here?
Have we?
I don't know. I feel like we have, but we've also. I don't know.
Boy, it'll be really boring for people if we
Yes.
have. I just see this stupid ass flag.
You got your Ken Mojo Dojo Casa House flag behind me.
Yeah, so
great
I'm just
backdrop for this area.
staring at it.
Yeah.
So I see it. But the whole premise of the movie is that, Barbie lives in a matriarchy. It's run by women. And Ken, the other Kens, they only exist to be around Barbie. Barbie's the president, Barbie's the CEO, Barbie's the astronauts. All Kens do is
Sign me up.
hang out at the beach.
Sign me up.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. But so they think that women rule the world. So when he goes to the real world, he quickly realizes, wait a minute, like these men are running shit.
I don't know. His setup sounded pretty cool.
Oh, it is. It is. But he wanted more for himself.
Oh, okay.
So as much as this is like a coming of age movie for like Barbie all girl
Yeah.
power, and then she goes back and realizes the world's not like that, and then she needs to fix things. The whole reason she has to fix things is because Ken goes to the real world, sees that it's all men running this shit, and he comes back fratted out and starts telling all the Barbies,
Yeah.
this isn't how it's going to be. You're going to have to get me a beer. You're going to have to like take care of my horses because horses are manly as shit. And like my trucks need to be bigger, badder.
I mean, that's how our world is, right? You, me, and every guy we know.
Kind of.
Yeah, like our women just do everything we tell them to do,
Yes.
and
Absolutely.
and they just kowtow to our every need, and we just bark orders at them all the time.
That's right.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because you get it.
Yeah, just like the real world. Here.
Just like the real
Yeah.
But when he comes back and starts establishing himself, it's just the frattiest thing you've
Yeah.
ever seen. It's glorious. All the Barbies are like another brewski, like handed him brewskis, and I was just
Why
over
did
the moon.
they succumb to this so easily?
That's never really said. Barbie's gone. He comes back and starts telling the Kens, like, no, we're in charge. This is what's up. He's got all these books about the patriarchy and how men are in charge. And I guess he just educated the world about.
So then Barbie's fix would be for everyone to be equals and work together. And
When it was all said and done, yes, the women went back to power, but they understand now that it can't be all or nothing in any direction. So that's ultimately the gist of the Barbie movie.
I thought I'd heard it didn't go back to that. I thought I heard it went back to the start of the movie.
It does.
Okay, now you're telling the
with
truth.
an understanding that everyone needs to work towards equality. So that's kind of where it leaves off.
Yeah,
But
but it's boss bitches.
watching
again.
Ken in full frat mode though was
Took you back?
glorious.
Yeah.
So it was nice. I enjoyed the movie just to watch Ken do
Took you back.
frat stuff. Yeah, it was cool. The whole place, the Barbie Dream House became the Mojo Dojo Casa House, and it was just dudes drinking beer But
I'm
it's
assuming every dude in that movie is dumb as a box of hammers the entire time.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, it'll frustrate you. Look, the movie will frustrate the piss out of you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there is more value if you go through it through the eyes of like, just enjoy watching.
Like every sitcom, every dad is a bumbling, fumbling.
What why
idiot.
is that? Why do we have to get portrayed as
I don't
the
know.
dumbest damn
I don't
thing in
know.
the world?
I don't know.
But we are always bumbling
Yep.
morons.
It is. I guess that's how we're seen to the world.
There was one that we tried to prop up, and that turned out to be a racist. I mean, not a racist, a rapist.
Yeah.
Yeah, we let Dr. Huxtable be a
Yeah.
doctor, and then that's completely backfired.
Yeah. America's dad. And how'd that go?
Yeah, so you can't do it. You got to go back to bumbling, stumbling.
There's also the thing you hear guys hear all the time about how like women's standards are ridiculous. You know, women have to be this, back to the Barbie, the Margot Robbie of the world, right? But like every like great actor I know is extremely, and when I say actor, I should say male actor. Every male actor I know now is like got a 30-inch waist and massive shoulders and nothing but pecs and beautiful hair. And
It's impossible to live up to.
I'm like, don't the guys have the same battles? Like,
We all do. Everybody has the exact same problem.
yeah. Well, I mean,
But no one wants to look at schlubs. Actually, that's not true. We love watching 1,000-pound people on TV.
Yes.
We either like absolute train wrecks or perfection.
Yeah.
We don't like average. Average is the worst. It's one thing you don't want.
Speaking of weird train wreck shows, have we talked about The Golden Bachelor?
I've refused to watch it.
Well, I refuse to watch all of them because I mean, the premise is ridiculous.
I assume they're all divorced, right?
Yeah, or widowed. I think the guy is widowed, or yeah,
Widow's the best baggage because it's like
a widower, I guess is what he would be.
because at least then it's like this person wasn't let go because
They were loyal.
They weren't
They were
all
good,
these
yeah.
bad things that like it was like this didn't work out.
But the idea you're going to fall in love with somebody as you're simultaneously dating 25 people is just not a healthy start to any relationship.
My favorite part about that is like when you watch like The Bachelor or something, these people have the sex drive of 20-some-year-old people, which is totally normal.
Yes.
Now you get into The Golden Bachelor.
Yeah.
And you've got these 60-year-old women who do not have a sex drive. And the guy's sex drive is also diminished greatly.
Yeah.
Like, let's not split hairs. But like, all they're doing is fucking. They must just be snorting Viagra.
Yeah.
And the Kentucky jelly is flowing.
You think all the Golden Bachelors you think the Golden Bachelor is just an older version of the Bachelor? Like you think there's hooking up and all that shit?
Hell yeah.
I mean, I would assume there's a version of it, but
It's completely inflated.
Yeah, I guess because on the show it's inflated.
Yeah, I'm saying you're going to get home. You're going to marry this woman, and you're going to get home, and then it's just an old woman.
Yeah.
She's not going to want to be banging all the time. You know?
You're not going to be in your Mojo Dojo Casa house.
No. The
Yeah.
Kentucky jelly is going to get expensive.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be the same.
Because you're going to
Like,
need a lot of it.
you're going to need tons of it.
Buckets.
Tons, just buckets of Kentucky jelly. It's the worst. I just think that I just feel bad because it's such a lie. It's such a lie.
There's so many things on TV. Like, I get watching some stupid shit from time to time, but like, there's literally like a million educational, interesting, cool things out there. Like, I just don't get.
People don't watch it.
They really don't.
They like the smut. They want to be below deck.
But again, like, why are you invested in the love life of an old dude and 25 old ladies? Like, I just can't.
Could you imagine if your grandma's on there?
I can honestly see why you would be into the young version of it if you're an average age person. Because if you're watching The Bachelor or Bachelorette and you're like, look at that, 25 hot chicks, I will watch them.
Yeah. Or 25 hot dudes.
Yeah,
and
or
one-
hot
and one
dudes.
gal.
Or, yeah,
I mean,
whatever your taste is, there's a version, right? I guess a lot of old people watch it and they want to watch. I mean, they're good looking older people, I assume, on the show. I've only seen the commercials,
It's
but
all Botox and plastic surgery. It's not a great look. I watched one gal put her foot out like in the preview and like the bunions on it. I mean, I was just like, come on. I'm not interested.
I feel like all the celebrities and stuff that are aging as we age, as people do, like I feel like the ones that just go with it naturally, it's a better look.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty good to see.
Like all the ones that you think still look good probably did very little work, if any.
Oh yeah, work's only good like the first time.
Yeah.
After that, it's a slippery slope. You're headed downhill fast. Like you're just gonna end up as Michael Jackson.
Well, and at what point, like, are you not even recognizing yourself in the mirror? That sounds scary to me. Like not recognizing the face looking back at you when you step out of the shower in the morning. Be like, what?
And not knowing if you're smiling.
Yeah.
That's gotta be a weird feeling.
Yeah.
That's
Not being able to smile.
yeah.
don't
Sounds
know.
liberating in its own way. You sad?
Yeah.
You happy? What are you? I'm alive.
Yes.
I'm just here.
Yes.
Take it. Yeah, no, it's I guess I should watch one episode just so we can talk about it.
Maybe.
I don't want to.
I don't want
the
to.
last one I ever watched of those shows was the Flavor Flav one.
See,
I got highly invested.
Oh,
in
I
the
got
Flavor
highly
Flav
invested in
one.
that too. But
I was Team Hoops all day.
Yes.
Like,
Oh yeah.
she was my gal.
Yeah. But see, that was like
Horrible.
that was literally watching It wasn't watching a car accident. It was watching multiple cars continue to crash. It was a demolition derby of car accidents.
Because why would anyone want to be with Flavor Flav?
Yeah.
Here's a guy that is allegedly a recovered crack addict.
Yeah.
Probably still doing some crack.
Hoops got with Shaq.
Yeah, because Hoops was hot.
Yeah.
She was cool. I was like, that's the last one I watched.
And we also at the time were younger and had nothing going on in our lives.
Yeah, it is nice.
Maybe that's why Golden Bachelor is popular, because it's for the retirees of the world. They're like...
No, I think so. It's got to be a hit in the villages.
Because my mom is retired, and most of our conversations now are her texting me cool shows to watch, which 90% of them, I'm like, I will not be watching that, but thank you for the recommendation.
So she's rocking the Golden Bachelor.
That has not been told to me yet. But she does hit me with like, I watched the show. You guys would love it. I'm like, why do you think I would love that for 1 second? Like she was texting me, you got to watch Kelsey. It's great. I'm like.
The Travis Kelce thing?
Well, I think it's Jason more than Travis.
It's the Kelsey family. Which don't I get enough of that with the whole Taylor Swift thing? I just looked up. I saw Taylor Swift 4 times in the last 10 minutes.
Is she at that game too?
Yes.
Oh my God. Is she at every game now?
Yeah. I mean, they're forever. Right now, it's not. We're at a commercial break. But I wouldn't be surprised if she showed up.
Again, why do I care about Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce? Like, yes, they're phenomenal athletes, but like they haven't led an interesting life per se.
Probably a pretty. They probably haven't done anything.
Yeah, probably mundane. Like,
yeah.
Let me guess how it goes, Mom. They started playing football at a young age. They've continued to play football, and they excel at football.
Ooh, that sounds good. Maybe I should watch that. Or wait, no. How about I just watch football?
I was going to say, being that there's literally football on every night now, be it college or pros, I'll just watch a football game.
I'd rather watch football.
Yeah.
Than see how they make eggs.
Yes.
Because I don't care.
No.
I got my own take.
No.
I'm a hell of an egg maker.
And the whole thing about Taylor Swift, it's like, yeah, they're probably dating, but why does anyone care?
Because she's the most popular person. She's the most powerful woman in the world.
I still don't understand this. Like, Taylor Swift has been in my life for 10, 15 years. Loved everything she's done. I'm a Taylor Swift fan. I like her music. But just
would you consider yourself a Swiftie?
If that's what they're called, yeah, I will listen to her shit. I sing along to it. I like it. It's good stuff. But she's been on tour since she was 14. And it's like this year was the first year anyone had ever heard of her. And I just can't. I'm like, what?
Well, this is the year she became the single biggest person in the world.
But nothing has changed.
No.
She's been doing the exact same thing since she was 12 or 14 or when we first heard her songs.
Yeah. All right, so you get it. I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, I know it's big. I know in your world, I think we've talked about, like, you're going to see her.
I'm going to Ireland.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see her.
I'll go to the movie theater.
Fuck that. Oh, you want to know something big in my world I do want to talk about, and I'm starting to fall off. Like, it's getting weird. I love tracksuits.
What's the deal with the tracksuits?
So when I went to the Oceans Calling Festival, I was like, it's going to be cold.
Yes.
I need something warm, but something cool. Like, festival outfits are like, people wear crazy shit to festivals. I typically like to rock a cowboy hat, jorts, Budweiser cutoff, something just like.
Is this the coldest festival you've been to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely was. Now that you think about it, yeah. But so, like, I was telling my wife, I was like, we got to pivot.
Yeah.
We need outfits. I was like, let's get tracksuits. So originally we were like, let's get the typical hip hop Run DMC red and white Adidas.
My Adidas.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Furry candle
That's what
hat.
I think when I hear tracksuit.
Of course. You see the What's Up With That skit on Saturday Night Live.
Jason Sudeikis.
And he's wearing the red with the white stripes. I mean, it is the most iconic tracksuit. Then when Beastie Boys tried to get into hip hop, what'd they do? Boom. Tracksuit.
Yeah.
Red, the white stripes. Like, it just became the
When
thing.
I was in Cleveland at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they had some black tracksuits that the Beastie Boys had worn at one point in their career, like on
Yeah.
display.
So I bought the tracksuit specifically to be not ironic, but just stand out. My
Yeah.
wife was going to have a tracksuit. I had tracksuits. I was like, it's tracksuit weather. People always say sweater weather. So I just kept joking. It's tracksuit weather. It's tracksuit weather. I wore that tracksuit. It does something. And you look at like Russian mobsters,
Yeah.
like any Russian mobster you see in a movie, they're rocking a tracksuit, some kind of matching
Yeah.
tracksuit. It's just the look. It's known to either be hip hop or kind of douchebag,
Yes.
but it's a vibe.
Yes.
There's no doubt it's a vibe. So I bought
Well,
my
it's
tracksuit.
pajamas.
Yeah, it's comfortable, but they're not cheap.
Yeah.
They look kind of good because they're matching.
Yeah.
It's like any other suit. You could buy a top, you could buy a bottom, but if you have the matching set,
Yeah.
you're kind of doing your thing, right? Like you're kind of balling. So I bought the tracksuit thinking it would just be kind of kitschy and be fun. My wife and I would have it. And then I'd have a tracksuit.
And it would be your Ocean's Calling thing.
My Ocean's Calling thing. And it would never, I feel like basically.
You'd retire it.
I'm a guy who was like, yeah, all right, I'll do meth once.
Yeah.
Fucking loved meth. I loved it. Like I was walking around that thing and people would be like high-fiving you like, psh. And I was like, all right, it's a big festival energy thing. It's not,
Yeah. BFE.
it's not the real world.
Yeah.
So then last Sunday I wore the tracksuit out here watching football. 'Cause I was like, yeah, it's tracksuit weather again. It's cold.
Yeah.
You wear it again. Man, it feels even better not in a festival.
Nice.
And then people are like, man, you got a tracksuit. And then by the end of it, like my buddy Eddie ordered a tracksuit that day. He was
Yeah.
like, all right, I got to get this. That's the Beckenbauer. That's a good looking tracksuit. So like he got an Adidas tracksuit. And then I found this week, I bought another tracksuit.
Oh, you just happened to buy one?
I bought another tracksuit, a second Adidas tracksuit. And it started by me looking to buy like a cheap tracksuit for a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
Because I was like, long story, we're gonna play in the M4K golf tournament.
Yeah, which has been postponed. So
Postponed to November 3rd.
November 3rd, you guys still have time.
Yes, because of weather. Apparently
Yeah.
the weather is going to be shit,
Shitty.
which in my mind is just tracksuit weather. So I don't see why we had to adjust.
And golf. Like,
yeah.
that's why everybody who's ever played a game of golf has the pullover, the rain resistant pullover.
You just buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the gear.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm going to buy another tracksuit because this other dude who's going to be in my group refused. And I was like, I'm going to show up wearing a tracksuit because an M4K golf tournament is fun.
Yes.
So I was going to wear a
It's going to be
tracksuit.
fun.
Yeah, you don't have to wear fancy clothes. So I was going to wear my tracksuit. So I bought another one that I was going to wear and then just make him wear it. And I was going to buy like a cheap one. And then I started looking. It was kind of hard to find. And then I came across another.
Well, I told you too, he ain't going to fit your size.
Well, that's what he said. He was like, you could try it, but you're not going to fit. So don't do it. So I was trying to find something that'll fit us both.
Yeah.
Long story. And then I finally just gave up. And then I found myself even after that, like I still kept looking at tracksuits. You know, like when you're looking at a car and like you find yourself just looking at different cars.
Yeah.
And you're configuring different cars. You're just screwing around online. Well, it's become this is like earworm. Now, like I kept going. I finally just bought another tracksuit yesterday. Now I'm mixing and matching stuff that's the same color, but different styles to create my own style. It's becoming a whole thing.
So you're trying to get like a section of your closet just straight
Tracksuits. I think I'm going to be a tracksuit guy, but I recognize this is the douchiest thing you can do.
Well,
You're either appropriating Russian culture or hip hop culture, and I'm just a middle-aged white guy.
see, here's my thing. I would never, ever, ever wear I would wear a tracksuit to do a group thing. Like, I would do it once.
That's how it started.
But see, I would never wear a tracksuit. But see, you're a guy, you wear sweat tight pants around. Like,
I will, yeah.
And you wear them out.
I will.
I won't go, like, I have house pants that I wear in the house, and I'll take a walk around the neighborhood.
But you're a jeans guy.
I'm not going to go out without pants on.
proper
Yes.
pants.
Like, I feel naked in those house pants or sweatpants or tracksuit pants. Like, I just feel like I don't have good pockets.
I just saw Taylor Swift
Oh my
on the
gosh. Oh my
screen.
gosh.
No. I'm not kidding. Red Adidas tracksuit, white
That's
stripes.
hilarious.
Is what her jacket was. I was like, no way this is happening.
What's she going to do? Because she's a Philly fan and they're going to play each other.
Well, she's got that big Kelsey in her now.
She's going to have to get the custom tracksuit that's red on one side, green on the other.
Yes. But so you would not feel comfortable in a track. You would not go out in a
I would not feel comfortable. Like, I mean, if a group was doing it, like if I was at Ocean Callings and you talked me into it, I would do it.
But then it's ironic.
Yeah. But like, I wouldn't just rock one. I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm going to run up to Costco and do some shopping in this tracksuit.
I don't know that I can yet. I'm not there yet. I
Okay.
can't do meth in public.
Gotcha. But like hanging out here on a Sunday, yeah, I could see. Because basically you're in your house. Like you're in your comfort zone. So
Yeah.
I would wear house pants here. Like that wouldn't be a
But
problem.
you'd come over here in house pants
Yeah.
because it's different. It's
Yeah.
just comfortable.
Yeah.
But I'm telling
But
you, like,
I see where road's leading.
there's an energy that you get from it where people look at you like, what the hell is this? But it's kind of it's a weird feeling. It's super comfortable.
Yeah.
Like I'm wearing a sweatshirt now, which
Yeah.
is not anything crazy. Like,
No.
but you're in sweats, but you're wearing a suit
Yeah.
of sweats and it all matches.
Yeah.
I found a dude on eBay who had like a 90s Chicago Bulls tracksuit for sale.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, oh man, it's my size. And like
You bought it, right?
I haven't, but it's $100, but it's a true 90s Bulls tracksuit.
Well, what's a decent tracksuit cost? 60, 70 bucks?
So you can get cheap tracksuits all day.
Like no name brand?
Yeah, like some Asian brand. Mm-hmm. That'll be the most hilarious looking things that are kind of dope.
Yeah.
For like
weird patterns and stuff?
Yeah. Like Argyles and crazy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
From like $40 to $50 all day to your door. That's like done deal.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad. But you get like a true Adidas. So there's like, I know way too much now about tracksuits. There's like the cheap ass Adidas tracksuits that like you get at like Costco or wherever.
Yeah.
Where it's just like basic stuff. And those are cheap. $80 out the door. I mean, cheap.
Yeah.
Say $70 like for a full suit. I didn't know this, but Adidas has the Beckenbauer, which is like the most high-end tracksuit. Then you've got the Superstar, which is
So they got like trim levels like a car.
yes. And then they've got one, it's called like the Fire something. Those are the only three that any respectable Adidas tracksuit person
Yeah.
would have something of that.
They wouldn't have
generation.
the sport model.
So I actually just got some Beckenbauer pants that I'm mixing with the same color, but in a Superstar top to create kind of my own look. But it's the same color scheme, but slightly
But your
different.
average person wouldn't know.
No, they would look at it and go, you have a full Adidas tracksuit.
Yeah.
But now I'm at the point where I'm mixing and matching because I'm like, I want the lighter jacket, but I
Yeah.
want the high end pants.
Yeah.
It's getting bad. I'm becoming a tracksuit guy.
When's that going to be here?
It'll be here in time for that Sunday. I'll be out here
Nice.
watching football in a navy blue and white striped.
Nice.
Mix and match. No one will know.
No one will
I'll
know. Yeah.
I'll know. I got two different styles going on. A true Adidas nerd would know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm falling into, and we'll see if this continues to grow, but there is something about
That's totally normal for a guy your age to get into.
it's better than
Actually,
heroin.
probably is. Actually, it's probably a
This is probably
middle-aged
exactly.
guy.
Yeah, no, this is precisely. You either pick up on that in your early, in your young years.
Yeah, your late teens, early 20s, or you jump to your
Or you
mid 40s.
give
yeah.
up when you're
Yeah.
old. And I'm old now. And I'm going to be a tracksuit guy. But where it's going to get weird is when you see me like,
In public?
walking through a grocery store,
Yeah.
fucking Adidas tracksuit, matching shoes.
I could see you doing that.
Oh, it's coming. I'm like a year away from chains.
Yeah.
I'm about to just be a totally different dude.
Dude. I mean, if you're wearing a full Adidas tracksuit,
You kind of have to have chains, right? Get my initials on this shit.
yeah, and a crazy hat.
The hats are just the next thing. The shoes, the hats. Like there's a whole
Oh,
thing
yeah.
that's
You gotta
happening.
get some shell toes or something.
Man, I found a shell toe that has the matching stripes to my other tracksuit.
Oh,
so a
man.
red, white, and blue on the three stripes. on the shell toes. And I'm like, what? But why do I need that?
To go with the tracksuit.
Boom. So
You're gonna wear your Vans? Come on.
I was wearing Vans last week, and all these nerds not in tracksuits were like, what's up with the shoes?
Yeah.
They don't match. And then they're talking shit. I was like, you don't even own a tracksuit. But they understand tracksuit culture.
But you know they're right.
I know that.
You can lie to yourself, but if
I
you're going to
did.
be honest with yourself,
I lied to myself all the way through the 1 o'clock games.
yeah,
And by the 4 o'clock games, I was like, you're
you
not
guys are
wrong.
right? Yeah,
You're not wrong. I'm wearing the wrong shoes.
you at least got to have Adidas on, even if they're not shell toes.
Even if I just go back to the old like Adidas soccer shoes,
Yeah,
like you could rock that.
what were
'cause
those things called? Sambas?
Yeah. Like you
Yeah.
could go with the classic Samba because I actually think the Samba may be a better looking shoe than the classic clamshell Adidas.
I think so.
It's a more versatile shoe.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I never owned shell toes. I never thought I was the guy to wear them. Like it just wasn't like
no, it's
my
just
look.
it's too much.
Yeah,
I might get some Sambas. Like I said, I'm making my own way
yeah.
in the tracksuit world. But I've been down the road of Puma
And while
tracksuits.
you're getting Sambas, go ahead and grab yourself some Umbro soccer shorts.
That sounds pretty lame.
I'm just saying, for when
get
it's
it.
hot,
I get it. See,
hypercolor shirt.
you're mistaking me for an athlete.
You
I'm
are an athlete.
I'm a recovered world-class athlete.
Oh, retired, recovered.
Now I just need comfortable
You're bu-
athletic attire.
Now you're built for comfort, not for speed.
I was always built for comfort. Let's be honest. But this is where things are headed. It's tracksuit time.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm fired up.
I can't wait to see it.
The question is, can I get? I never thought I'd own more than one.
The question is, do you want other people to get into it with you?
Yeah,
That might make it worse. If like 4 dudes are walking around here in tracksuits, that's going to be weird.
No, I definitely
You want
want
to be your guy. You want to be the tracksuit guy.
I do want to be the tracksuit guy, but there's a certain flex that if other people follow you,
Well, that's true.
then you're like, I'm a trendsetter on a trend that started in.
I
the
know a
70s.
guy that you could talk into doing it with.
I mean, am I supposed to know exactly who it is?
There's a guy here
Yeah.
that shows up and he puts you on the biggest pedestal of all. Everyone likes you, but this guy puts you on a pedestal.
Oh,
He's
I
very
would love to get that.
he's
dude.
very friendly with
That
you.
dude will never.
He gives
right.
you gifts, and
That dude will never wear a tracksuit.
I think if you asked him to,
I think I can get the Duke in a tracksuit
the Duke would do it.
because the Duke understands the irony of the whole situation.
Well, he's a comfort guy.
Yeah, he's a comfort guy.
Yeah.
He shows up here in all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
You know, this dude
he wears
bibs,
Dallas. He wears Dallas Cowboy stuff in public.
which is the most disgusting
Yeah,
thing you can do.
Yeah, and embarrassing.
It's both.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah, I mean, a tracksuit would be a huge upgrade.
But like, he's also the guy. The Duke's probably my guy.
He's fun,
'Cause-
and he's likes to have fun.
Yeah, I'm saying like he wears whenever he's barbecuing, he wears overalls.
Yeah,
That's just what he wears. He's like, this is my.
Yeah.
I'm smoking. beats.
I'm doing outdoors country shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be wearing the gear.
I'll show up at his house in the middle of the summer, and he's just outside in jorts.
Yeah,
And I'm like, respect. Like, I think I actually got some of my jorts game from him having jorts. I was like,
Nice.
respect it. Like, Ely and the Duke wear jorts unironically.
like I don't think I've ever seen this side of those two guys. Like proper jorts or like homemade jorts.
Nowadays, it's homemade jorts, but I can tell you in college, Ely was a jorts that were rolled up that had the perfectly creased.
Yeah,
That was a look.
I did that in the 8th grade because it was awesome.
Whoa, you know what I saw the other day? I was on the Lucky website looking at some
Oh
jeans,
yeah,
and all of the models, it's not a full peg, but it is a tight roll at the bottom of the jeans when you flip through the different like, models in the jeans.
it's coming back around.
Every one of them at some point in there also demonstrates how the wide legs can have a tight roll.
Well, now they just make jeans that tighten up at the ankle.
but-
You don't even need to roll 'em.
I've been calling that the tight roll, that the tight roll or the peg is going to come back on jeans.
Yeah, you have.
I've been calling it for years.
You want it to come back.
Desperately.
You're huge into pegging.
I'm pegging my jeans.
I mean, pegging, whatever you want to call it.
No. Go to Urban Dictionary. If you just say pegging, it's very different.
That's
than
what
pegging.
you're talking about.
No. Talking about pegging your jeans. Totally down with
I don't
that.
know all the slang.
All right. Just see what pegging is on Urban Dictionary. You want to just give
I don't know what pegging you keep air quoting in jeans, and
I'm not air quoting anything.
It's confusing. You keep
No
throwing up
one's
these
air quoting. No one's air quoting.
Every time you say in jeans, you throw up the double air quotes, and I'm like, what's he mean by this?
No, my hands are squarely in the front of my pants where they always are when I podcast. I just like each hand to play with one ball.
I also
It
never
keeps my-
pegged my jeans because I was like, that's not who I am.
You didn't peg your jeans?
No. But I definitely did the Ely make my own jean shorts and
Roll it.
have a couple inch of cuff rolled up.
That was the look.
No, I specifically remember going to a dance in the 8th grade where and it was where I grew up. You didn't have formal dances when you were a kid, but you would
Pegging.
Yeah, I know what that is.
I'm just looking it up.
Yeah, you know what? Don't act like you don't know.
Oh, no. Actually, this is not what I thought. Nope. That's what I didn't realize. Yeah, the act of a woman taking revenge on a man.
Revenge?
Through penetrating him anally.
It can't be loving?
Dude, last night I left the toilet seat up and my woman started pegging me. Never doing that again, bro.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the proper use of that term.
No, that is very...
And they're describing rape. Taking revenge?
Literally.
Yeah.
Revenge rape.
Yeah.
Which is like a whole other level
Yeah.
of wrong.
You fucked up, so you're getting pegged? That's not the type of pegging I want to think of.
Yeah, peg to falsely assume something about a person, often based on stereotypes or outward appearances, i.e., that dude's in a tracksuit. I pegged him as a douchebag.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, yeah, I remember an 8th grade dance, we didn't dress up. You just had dances. And, I, cut off and rolled some brand new jorts, and I went and got a brand new Big Johnson shirt, and I thought I was the coolest motherfucker in the world. So, I'm fully aware of rolling your shorts.
You had me a Big Johnson shirt.
Yes.
Probably one of the greatest clothing lines.
They got outlawed in my school.
That's how you knew they were cool.
Yeah, because they got a little bit racy there.
Yeah.
The one I had was rollerblading, and I can't remember the joke. I can't remember the double entendre. But
Rollerblading?
yeah, it was like
No,
Big
double
Johnson's.
entendre.
It was Big Johnson's rollerblade. It had Big Johnson's fishing, Big Johnson.
Yeah.
They had a million of them, and I don't remember what.
You got in trouble for a Big Johnson rollerblade?
No, I didn't
shirt?
get in trouble. It was when they first came out, they were allowed, but they just kind of kept pushing the envelope. The one I remember more than anything was they got to where it was Big Johnson's Casino, liquor up front and poker in the rear, and I'm like,
Nice.
that's that. It started off being Big Johnson fishing, and it'd be
Yeah, the bigger the rod, the bigger the fish.
Yeah, you catch a lot of fish with a Big Johnson, and you're like, that's not
Good
too
enough.
bad.
Good enough.
But when you're saying liquor up front and poker in the rear, there's no. Yes, it's spelled differently, but that's a little.
The old rubber balls and liquor.
Yeah.
I got in trouble. I remember I was in junior high and I went down to Ocean City.
Yeah. Oh,
have all
God.
those,
all the airbrush stuff. And
Yeah, they have all the shitty shirts,
Yep.
you know. And I got one that just said "New Kids Suck." And this is when New Kids on the Block.
Oh,
was,
yeah.
like big. And I wore my New Kids Suck shirt to school, and the principal made me turn it inside out. He's like, "You wear that again,
You're in trouble.
I'm going to suspend you." So I wore it again the next week.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did get sent home,
Not suspended?
not suspended, but what happened at home was, good enough.
Yeah.
I didn't wear it again to school. They got me, but I was like, it's a New Kids Suck shirt.
Did you hate New Kids on the Block?
Yeah, vehemently. I didn't like anything that the girls liked.
Well, so here's a little.
That wasn't me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's a little inside baseball. I despise them as well, but for the obvious reasons that it was every girl liked them.
Yeah, it just was annoying.
Every girl loved them, but I was secretly that Please Don't Go Girl song's pretty fucking tight.
Oh, so you actually kind of liked it.
Yeah, I liked a couple of their songs, but I had to be like...
You were like the politician who's like anti-gay and who's stomping his foot in the bathroom stall trying to get a blowjob.
I was going to say I was the guy who acted like they didn't like a band, but did.
But that's what I'm saying.
I see where you're taking it.
If you doth protest too much,
yeah, but
usually it means that you got some skeletons.
No, but
about
it wasn't that I doth protested too much. It was every teenage boy hated them. Like there was no one that I knew.
But you secretly did think.
But I was like, a couple of these songs are pretty damn good.
Yeah. No, I was never a fan.
Yeah.
But I think I was just because I was a basic dude.
Yeah.
You know, I just refused to think it was catchy.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's other things in all of our lives where we followed the masses on something where you're like, but I kind of really like that thing. Or I like it more than I'm letting on because I don't want to be the butt of the jokes in the middle school, you know?
See, I tend to own it.
Yeah.
But you know that about, like, I will tend to own it. I'll be like, no, I have a fucking Miata.
Yeah, but why did you hate them?
I didn't like the fact that all the girls thought they were the sexy shit and not me. It wasn't their music.
Yeah.
It was like...
So you might have liked some of their music.
If I'd given it a chance. Mm-hmm. I was so blinded.
Shit, you couldn't not give them a chance. I mean, it was on the radio nonstop.
Yeah, I didn't like... I could actually get behind like the Backstreet Boys more than I ever could.
Well, they were cool.
New Kids.
New Kids were never cool either.
No, they were bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't a fan.
No, I definitely was never a fan, but I did like a couple of their songs. And I'm like, damn, I can't even like this song because you have to hate them. You have to hate them as a whole. The umbrella covers all of it. You don't get to go a la carte with this band when you're in the 8th grade. It's either like, I'm not a fan or I am a fan.
I remember I basically assaulted a girl, not on purpose.
Yeah.
We were at a trampoline at a birthday party and like, New Kids was coming on and they were all like, they were bouncing and dancing and singing. And I was so annoyed. And I was double bouncing. Oh, like sending people sky high, like just like aggressively double bouncing. Like they suck. I was like, come on, you can't really like this dome. And then shooting them up into the sky, you know? And this one girl came down and I double bounced at a really inopportune moment. I broke her foot.
Goo.
Yeah, and I will always feel guilty about that because I had the biggest crush on that girl. So that I was intentionally trying to double bounce her, and then she crumbled.
So were you like showing off, kind of too?
Yeah, oh yeah, I was showing off, and I was being like, "They suck. If you don't stop, I'm gonna keep double bouncing you guys." And they were like, "Don't double bounce this bitch." I shattered her foot. So I wasn't a fan of that. Yeah, that is that? Did you just grab that? No. Go on top of the keg on the right.
Oh.
I
thought all the delis were down here at the bottom.
They are, but we had our buddy Brian showed up last weekend, and he specifically brought this beer. He said, "You have got to try this." He said, "This is a deli winner."
What Brian?
Stu's brother.
Oh, okay. You said buddy. I was confused.
No. Look at the weird shit he brought. He brought this. This is some kind of weird like sake jelly shots punch.
Ugh.
So you got to chill this and you shake it up, and then it's all got these like little jelly beads in it.
And Brian,
and then he brought like sake beers and stuff.
Where did he get all this shit?
Because he's been hanging out at the sushi place where his daughters work, and so he's been getting all this weird shit. But he brought this, and he said, "I want you to deli this." He said, "This is a winner." Now, it's an 8% ass kicker.
Brian is our buddy. I was just fucking around. But he's known for drinking cheap shit.
He's a Natty Light guy through and through.
This is Red Horse beer. It is 8% alcohol. What can I read about this?
Nothing.
Experience that distinctive full-flavored taste of a world-class premium beer. Imported by J.K. Skaggs Incorporated out of Irvine, California. I have a cup.
You got one?
Yeah, thank you. Red Horse beer. This shit. You know what this looks like? This label.
Like it's Knuff?
I don't know your terms, dude. This looks like, and it'll kind of make sense when I say it. It doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like Red Apple, but in all the and the
Apple red. Something's apple red.
yeah, it's like red apple cigarettes.
Red's
and
apple. Yeah.
and who does all those Tarantino movies? Like, because you can't use Marlboro or whatever. Like, this looks like it would be a beer in a movie for someone who didn't want a Miller Lite product or a Coors Light. You know, like
Yeah, no, that beer looks dumb as shit. And he swore. Like, this looks like a beer that if you were in Thailand on the beach
yes,
and you were like, let me get a beer, they're like, we carry Red Horse.
yes.
I don't know what to expect out of this, but he came over here with authority.
Ooh,
Like, this is the greatest beer ever. Okay, it doesn't have
Looks
anything
like beer.
special on the color.
looks like beer.
It literally just says Red Horse beer. Like, this is generic as shit.
Doesn't even say like a lager or pills or anything. It's got a
Got a lot of boozy on the stink.
yeah. Red Horse.
The fuck? Okay.
Mm.
It tastes like sake fucked a beer.
He swore this would win
He thought this is the second coming. This
of good beer.
I guess.
Does it taste appley, or is it just because I said the word apple?
No.
It kind of has a cidery.
No, I think it's like, I think it's rice based. That's my guess. My guess is it's rice based somehow.
Not piss.
Oh, it's got some of that too. Let me see if I can find any.
See, are you looking for ingredients?
Oh, look at this. I'm not kidding. Product of Thailand. And what did I say? I said it looks like something you would be
It says
handed.
out of Irvine,
Yeah,
California.
but look at the very bottom of the back label. Product of Thailand.
Yep.
And it's exactly what I was like. It looks like some shit you'd get in Thailand.
So it's imported by J.K. Skaggs. Yeah. San Miguel Brewery.
Yeah, that's a. So that
This
makes
is a foreign beer.
that makes sense that it's a Thailand beer because it looks like.
Philippines.
Hold on. So it's made in the Thailand, distributed out of the
It
Philippines.
says expertly brewed and packaged under the supervision of San Miguel Brewery Incorporated, Philippines, by San Miguel Beer, Thailand.
I don't even understand how that's possible.
I don't know, but it definitely tastes like a foreign beer.
Weird.
Brian. I hate to look a gift horse beer in the mouth. What's the name of it again?
Red Horse.
It's confusing me because I keep wanting to say red apple, but I know horse is in there, and then I want to say gift horse.
I just don't think they knew how to spell Red Horse. Am I supposed to like this?
It's supposed to be a deli. That's why my hand's reaching up here to this bell.
Oh, keep it on that. Keep it on that bell. Because this is a W. I know why he likes this.
Because he hates his taste buds?
No, because it's 8%.
Probably good bang for your buck.
It's a Thailand beer by way of the Philippines.
Yeah.
So this is probably like $2 a six pack.
Yeah.
It's 8% alcohol.
It doesn't taste as boozy as 8%
No, it's hidden. It's
Yeah.
hidden well.
under the shit flavor.
I guarantee there's rice in there. I'm telling you, there's a rice vibe, and that's just not a Thailand joke.
No, I think you're right. What
8%.
is Red Horse
Yeah,
Beer
8% alcohol.
brewed
My God,
with?
that's a very interesting beer. Red Horse. That's how I'm going to have to pronounce it going forward. Red Horse beer.
Red Horse Wikipedia. Red Horse beer is an extra strong lager brewed blah 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 blah.
Yep.
Amber lager.
Each bottle blessed by a virgin
I'm looking. I'm reading. See what it's made with.
It's nothing good. Do you want to run at this?
It's not going to get a deli. Spoiler alert.
Oh, you don't know. You're going to have to go something low enough to bring down my 5.
So the question is, how low do I want to go? Now,
you can't go but so low.
With that tease, it's not going to be that low.
It can't be that low because it's not. There's nothing gross.
But the question is, do I want to go 2.5 or 2?
No, that's a valid question, and the answer is 2.
Yes. Oh, even worse than we thought.
Okay, what's the scoop?
This has the two worst words next to it.
Crushable?
It's not even beer.
It's a malt beverage?
Malt liquor.
That makes sense.
Should not be labeled beer, right?
Not technically.
Maybe they get away with it. This is on Beer Advocate.
As a malt liquor, it does.
The ingredients. So this write up says, I love the ingredient list on the can. Ingredients. Water, malt contains any of the following: cereal, sugar, starch, hops.
Wow.
Yeah.
They give you a lot to go on there.
Yeah.
You know
For
what this
a malt
does
liquor,
taste
it's
like?
surprisingly smooth in the flavor department.
This does have a real Schlitz vibe to it.
Yes.
This is the kind of shit make you punch someone you don't want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go 2. The more I drink of it, too, the less I like it.
So that's actually, usually I ramp up. So my first sip I didn't like.
Yeah.
My second sip
It's getting worse.
My second sip I actually liked more. Every subsequent sip has gotten worse and worse. The last sip I just had was worse than my first.
Yes.
Now, all right, as far as redeeming qualities, it's got a real nice malty sweetness to it that could be
I feel like it gets sweeter, too.
much sweeter.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent of a red ale. There is some of that in there. I'll give it that. But it's that malt liquor vibe.
Undertone.
What's the one with the bowls on it? Is that Schlitz?
Old English.
No, Old English has the Old English. There's one that has bowls on it. I think it's Schlitz.
I'll look that up.
And it reminds me of when I used to drink Schlitz in the 70s.
In the 70s?
It's like a slightly maltier version
Schlitz.
of a Schlitz.
This one?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a maltier version of a Schlitz. 8% alcohol. I mean, this thing is a boomer. I can feel it. Now, I've had a whole bottle at this point.
Yes.
It's not, I didn't spit take it, but that sweetness is becoming, and it's not sugary sweet in the traditional sense. It's like a malty sweet. But I'm disliking it more and more.
Yeah.
And it's somehow getting thicker as it happens. I cannot.
And I don't, in the mouth, the aftertaste is getting worse and hanging on more. Yeah.
All right. I got through it because it's not lower than a 2. But I'm stretching
Yeah.
from a 1.5 to give it a 2.
I started at 2.5, but I had to go down.
You know what? I'm going to pan it a little worse because I don't even want it in the 2 ballpark. And I know that's a little sacrilege, but that's a 1.5 for me. It's a 2 for you. That's a 1.75.
That's fine. I'm not arguing that.
Because it got gross.
Yes.
It got really gross.
Sorry, Brian. We appreciate the idea. We love when you guys donate beers for us. That's for damn sure.
No, and that's I hate to do that,
We do hate to do that.
but that's got DKML vibes.
Yeah.
And that comment may not mean anything to like newer listeners.
New listeners.
But years ago, we tried a beer called the DKML. And I think it still holds the candle as like the fucking worst.
DKML and Hams are the two standouts. Like those are two I don't forget.
But I will drink a Hams if it's dirty. So like there's a place in Folly Beach that serves dirty hams.
Yeah.
And they literally put a little hot sauce in it and they put some tahini on the rim and they doctor it up to a point that I'm like,
yeah, but I'm talking straight up.
No. Straight up, I don't like hams.
Yeah.
But at Low Life, if you ever have a chance to go to Folly Beach, go to Low Life. The food is amazing. Mm-hmm. And they recognize that they need to have like a cheap beer that they can like flip.
Every bar should have one of those.
Yes.
And I love it.
So they chose hams as their cheap beer, but they do dirty hams. A little bit of Cholula in it, a little tahini on the rim. They kick it up in a way that I'm like,
they mask all the awful.
Yeah. And so I actually will go in there and I will drink dirty hams, but I respect that they took a shit beer and at least went with it because hams, DKML was strong and bad.
That was like wasn't it like a bourbon barrel beer?
Not intentionally.
No, it was soaked in something if I remember correctly.
It was just really bad.
Yeah, it was awful. It was really bad. I don't remember how low it was, but it was awful.
Well, this falls below the 2 range. Man, I feel bad for Brian. I gotta tell him.
Oh, it was. That's right. It was.
It got worse.
Barrel aged malt liquor.
We don't like malt liquor, apparently.
No, and most people shouldn't. But it was Founders Brewing Company. Malt liquor.
It's trash. Okay, so I hated that.
Trash.
I hated that. I don't even think my tracksuit would like that.
No.
And my tracksuit occasionally drinks a Schlitz. But it will not be drinking a Red Horse. Now, unfortunately, I have multiple Red Horses floating around.
Lucky you.
Here's the good news. I feel very drunk.
So he did his job.
No. So I have found the redeeming quality.
A cheap buzz.
Before the deli started to now,
It's been an hour.
I'm different. Yeah, it feels like I've been drinking for an hour and I've been drinking for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's strong. No, that's it. Okay, I found it. It's a hell of an ass kick.
The good news is you guys can't find this shit anywhere unless you go to some sushi restaurant here in Richmond.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I will not be bringing that?
The
next time I have to smoke a pig.
Or if you happen to show up here at the Pout House, there'll be a few floating around.
There unfortunately will be.
Yeah.
Dude, you came by. We smoked a whole pig last week.
I know.
A 300-pound pig.
That was one of the biggest, if not the biggest pig I've ever seen.
I was ecstatic. Oof. I just tasted Miller Lite. After.
Did it ruin it?
Holy crap. Miller Lite tastes like Red Horse. Oh, gosh.
You better take a couple big swallers. See if you can wash that out.
No, it's bad.
Oh.
No, so
Fuck your palate up.
It did. That is okay. So that's
another.
That's like COVID in a bottle.
Ugh.
Everything's wrong in my mouth now.
Gross. That's not a ringing endorsement.
No, I'm glad I went 1.5. Dude, last week we smoked a fatty.
Yeah, y'all need to y'all are getting outsourced now.
We're getting to the point where we're smoking pigs, but this was the first time. So this past Christmas, I got a cookbook from Rodney Scott. Now, if you're not familiar with Rodney Scott, I think you are, but
only tangentially through you.
So Rodney Scott is a James Beard Award-winning barbecue pitmaster. Mm-hmm. Now, to get a James Beard Award doing what is arguably the most rudimentary form of cooking,
yeah,
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And so I had made a comment this past year that I wanted the Rodney Scott cookbook, and my wife pieced that together and told her mom, like, hey, here's an easy gift for that dude.
Yeah.
So I got this cookbook. I was like ecstatic. But a big part of this cookbook is like how to do a whole pig, where it literally talks about you need 62 cinder blocks.
Yeah.
You set them up in a rectangle. You get some rebarb. You throw it in there. And
Yeah, y'all did
am
work
I
on
saying
that.
it right? Rebar or rebarb?
I think it's rebar.
Rebar. All right.
Yeah.
So you get some rebar. You slap it in there. And like this becomes what the pig lays.
Yeah, but you had to
upon.
like drill holes out. Like y'all did it right.
Yeah. Well, I can't really take credit for that. I was out of town for work. Mm-hmm. But the Duke and my boy Chuck, like literally drilled holes in the cinder block, set the rebar, like built this pit over time. Now I was able to provide like the corrugated metal
Yeah.
to cover it and do all these things, but it's a real basic bitch pit. You know, there's only a couple ways to do it.
Oh, did y'all make like a cover to like just reflect the heat back down on it?
Literally just corrugated metal, threw that on top with a blanket.
Some like 2x4 legs, or did you sit right on the pig?
No, so the rebar is actually lower.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the pit,
yeah.
So it was just over the top. But like this cookbook tells you how to take a 55-gallon drum and like create like a burn barrel, which literally it's just a 55-gallon drum with rebar going through it and
Crisscrossing through it like
a hashtag.
yeah, what was that game? Put all the sticks in and put the marbles on, and you slowly pulled the sticks out till the marbles came crashing down.
There it is. Yeah. So you do that and like you do like a hashtag in
Yeah.
there. Pound sign, as us old people know it. Number sign for even older people like the abacus.
Yeah.
And like you put that in there, and then basically all you do is you just throw like oak wood in the top, and you just have a fire, and you cut a hole in the bottom, and as the embers fall through the little grid that you've created, those are the coals that you use to smoke the entire pig. Real basic.
Because the pig itself's never getting that hot.
No, you want that pit to stay at like 250, 225, somewhere in there, kind of all night long. So the only way to accomplish this is you start a big old fire in the burn barrel. Mm-hmm. You throw the pig in there, and as the embers fall through, you just scoop them out and you throw them underneath the pig in the cinder block pit.
Yeah.
And it slowly smokes a pig. Now the cookbook really showed us how to build it and do all that. I'm breaking it down to like real basics. But so we started it the night before, fired up the burn barrel, started shoving them in, and we had little probes in there so we knew what the temp was, and we kept it at temp. If there's one thing I can tell everybody that they need to remember, patience on the front end pays dividends in the long run. Mm-hmm. And the last 2 times I've smoked a pig, we have panicked to get it up to temp.
Yeah.
We've thrown charcoal in there just to kind of make it hot.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing you can do.
Get out ahead of yourself.
Yeah, because both pigs that we've done now, we've ended up like 4 or 5 hours into it, and we're like, yo, it's coming up in temp too quickly. We need to slow down. And then we have to like stall it out, which creates horribly awkward moments throughout the evening.
It makes it harder, I would assume.
Yeah, because you want it to come out at a certain time the next day.
You don't want to be premature.
Yeah. You really got to make sure that you dial it in. Like, be slow on the front end. Mm-hmm. Like, take the time
Slow
to do
and steady
it
wins the race.
every time. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard it before.
Yep.
Say it again. And we did it again this time. We ended up throwing the coals in there to get it up to temp before like all the embers were coming through the burn pit. And then sure enough, come like 11 o'clock, we went to flip the pig, which is a nightmare in and of itself.
Yeah.
So the trick with that,
Because you got to plan ahead.
so basically you have to get like some kind of like
Gridded metal.
gridded metal you put underneath it on top of the rebar. You put the pig on that, and then you get another piece, you put it on top and you pinch it, and then you flip it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that'll hold it together. But you want to do that at about 120 degrees in the pig because the pig is still very much solid. Mm-hmm. We checked the temp at 11 o'clock and it was 140. So already we're at the point where like things can start tearing and things can get crazy. So again, if we had exhibited patience on the front end, we wouldn't have to go this route. So we ended up having to like fill it with coals and then pass out. It was a long story, but we did it. Rode through the night.
Yeah.
Got it done. It was a huge ass pig.
Yeah.
300-pound pig came out, and we had a We had way too much meat.
So much meat, dude. Like, so I showed up and y'all were like breaking it up and fucking with it. And y'all had 2 little areas taken off. And I was like, shit, they're just now getting into this thing. Like, it must have run a little later because you had told me like 5 and we got there well after 5. And then somebody was like, oh, yeah, go over to that table. I'll turn around. There's like a long ass banquet table. And it's just like 4 massive things of meat already over there.
Covered in meat.
Yeah. I'm like, what? Like, where'd that come from? Like, oh, just these 2 little spots. I'm like, y'all haven't even really gotten into this shit.
Yeah.
And you already had, everybody had already eaten, and there were still tons of meat left.
And we, like you said, 3/4 of the pig was still there.
Yeah.
We went through that, and that stuff had been sitting off the coals for like hours. And once you got under that skin, it was still just steaming hot, like burning your hands to get through it. It's crazy how that works. But yeah, I'm getting pretty good.
I know y'all so y'all did the first one, and then the Duke's neighbor was like, I want to do that. And just on a whim, he just did it, which he had a dope set up outside of his house.
That was pretty sweet.
Awesome pavilion, TV, fireplace, the whole 9 yards, huge cover pavilion.
Axe throwing? Wow.
Axe throwing. The kids were loving that.
I like axe throwing.
Yeah. The pit was awesome. The burn barrel was awesome. I mean, the whole setup was awesome. The pig was delicious.
You can do that for next to nothing. We literally scavenged all that stuff. So we've been planning that for like 2 months. Anytime someone saw a cinder block, grab it, dump it at the house. It takes 62 cinder blocks. So it takes time.
Yeah.
But we didn't buy anything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is he going to leave it? Is he going to leave it up or is he going to tear it down?
I'll have to go by this week and see what his setup is. I don't think his wife was super keen on like
leaving it
giant pit just sitting in his yard.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, it's pretty cool.
He had a massive yard.
Yeah. But dudes see that and go, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Women see that and go, it's an eyesore.
Well, and I also see this work. Like, I got to break this fish down. And the next time I want to do it, I got to build it back.
But he has enough room where you could like tuck it all behind
Yeah.
something, put it out of the way. But now I know where to get 62 cinder blocks. So I feel like I need to do one here.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be awesome for our M4K event.
Right?
Yeah.
Smoke a pig all night, have everyone show up, eat pig.
I say we do that. And it could be a 100-pound pig. It doesn't need to be a bit.
It certainly doesn't need to be a 300-pound pig.
No.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
But now the Duke has a skull hanging at his house.
Oh, he got the skull?
And now that dude, Chuck, has a skull hanging at his house.
Nice.
I kind of want to get a gigantic pig just because I want the biggest skull.
Ah.
Because you keep the skull.
Yeah.
And the women didn't seem to understand this, but
we hung ours we did a pig roast every September in our fraternity, and we hung ours on the and by skull I mean the head. We didn't even. It was the cooked head. You know, like
that's gross. The vultures come. That's not.
Because we were in the city of Richmond, and like 12 feet up a light post, there's the pegs start coming out. Mm-hmm. For the maintenance guy to walk up.
Yeah.
We'd get a ladder and stick it on that pig right and that post was right by our main entrance in the backyard. And everybody had to walk by it. And that thing would get gross.
But that's the thing. You want to pick it clean, and then you want to like soak it in vinegar or bleach. Yeah. You want to do something or boil it. I've heard people boil it. But like that gets it clean, gets it back to like white.
Yeah.
And but now they both have.
You can bury it in the yard too.
Why would you do that? Oh,
because then all the insects and everything will scavenge it.
And then you dig it back up a year later and you have a perfect skull?
Yep. And then you can bleach it because it'll probably be like muddy and dirty.
That's actually probably the most badass way to do it.
Yeah.
Let nature have it.
Yeah.
Instead of just...
Or you can go get like a container, a tote, and put a bunch of dirt in it and then go get, whatever... Go to the pet store and get whatever beetles or whatever that will eat it. And,
they'd be super
and throw them in it. And
parakeets.
That's
what parakeets eat? I think parakeets eat that.
Drop it in your fish tank.
Actually, it's not a bad idea. That bitch get clean as hell.
Oh, hell yeah.
The turtles be eating it. The big-ass fish be eating it.
Yeah.
We need some piranhas.
Oh, there you go.
Piranhas is the way to do it. We need a piranha tank.
Yes. Somebody needs to check your big Oscar in there. Those piranhas would do that.
Yeah, that Oscar, he's ornamental badass.
Yeah.
It's not piranha badass.
No.
But you can get piranhas. I remember, at least back when I was a kid, you could get piranhas. But you could also buy monkeys at pet stores.
Yeah.
The world has really gotten away from cool
Not the
pets.
same, yeah.
You're not allowed to get cool pets these days.
No, now it's all about like sugar gliders and shit like that.
That's not even cool.
No.
Oh, actually, speaking of pets, you remember a few weeks ago we were talking on the podcast about how a dude he showed up at a house and it looked like he had a gun.
Yeah.
And then you were carrying over here.
Yeah.
You were like, yeah, your neighborhood is sus at best. So here's a follow up from that story. The guy who showed up. Okay, so you're packing tonight. You got to show me that. You got to just like demonstrate, try to throw me off my game. I have a little tidbit for you. It's not your gun that throws me off my game. It's the damn red horse. That stuff is strong.
Ironically, I don't know if it's like the placebo effect or something, but I feel a little bit
weird,
lightheaded.
No,
like
I think that stuff has like cocaine.
And I didn't even drink it.
No, I think there's cocaine.
I think just
in
putting it in my mouth, I absorbed enough alcohol to
that's a weird
feel
beer.
a little squirrely.
Like I'm like a very different person. I'm looking. I had to put on my glasses. I'm like trying to like just to like focus. No, that stuff is. I know why Brian
Something wrong
drinks
with it. Yeah.
But it's not a good beer.
No.
But in the same way,
maybe I guess anyone drinks 3 or 4 of those and they're gonna love it.
They're gonna be like, "This is the best night of my life." Yeah. And you wake up and you have no job. Like not a good beer.
You're a country song. You got no truck, no wife.
Exactly. But you still got your dog.
That's right.
And that's what it's about. But so that guy showed up here and he had that like weak excuse that we knew that he said there was something of his that was
AirPods or something like that. Yeah.
It turns out what it actually was, he had some weird exotic pet and he had it chipped.
Think it was a weird pet, or was it like a rare dog or something?
No, it was a weird pet. Not like a chinchilla, but maybe fuck it. Let's just call it a chinchilla.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm picturing whatever that thing is with the big buggy red eyes.
Yeah.
What are those?
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about a shit. I know what you're talking about. It's not a chinchilla.
But that's what I'm
yeah.
That's kind of what I'm picturing.
A meerkat or something.
But a meerkat's like a weasel.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's in Madagascar. Yeah.
But so he had some really exotic pet that you're not even supposed to have or it's hard to get. But he had the thing chipped and I guess it escaped and it had found its way. And that is why he was going in between the two houses and knocking on the doors. And that thing he was pulling out of his pocket, it could have very well been some kind of tracking device. Now, it certainly looked like a gun.
Well, it could have been a gun because
he's worried that he's knocking on people's doors at 2 a.m.
Well, and it might have not been escaped. It might have been stolen. You're talking about this thing from Madagascar?
Yeah, I mean, what the hell are those? That looks more like a lemur.
Lemur, yeah.
Yeah. So, but like you were allowed to have weird pets back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, this dude had an exotic pet and he had it chipped, and that is what he was chasing down, and that is why no charges were pressed, because he ultimately found
it,
the weird pet.
Yeah.
That was somewhere in between those two houses, and he was knocking on the door to be.
He's still taking his life into his own hands by knocking on doors in the middle of the night, flashing a gun or what looks to be a gun.
Absolutely.
Because we've heard people get shot just for knocking on doors in today's world.
Well, you're knocking on a door at 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
You are kind of putting yourself out there. But so it's very...
I listen to a lot of true crime stuff where like somebody's been kidnapped or whatever and they run and they go to the next house and they're covered in blood and they're knocking on the door and people are still like, I ain't opening this door. I'll call 911, but I ain't, you know, like...
If you look out your door and you see someone covered in blood, is your first reaction, I've got to help? Or is it like apprehensive?
I'd be a little bit apprehensive, honestly.
I would be too. Yeah. I think I'd be like, yo.
I'd like to think I'd swing the door up and pull them in, but it could be a whole setup thing.
Yeah, but I'm thinking to myself, wow, this motherfucker beat the shit out of somebody already.
Yeah.
This dude's got superpowers.
Or if it's a woman, it could be the dude could be standing next to her, just waiting for you to open the door, and both of them come busting in.
you don't know.
No, you don't.
It's horrible that we've gotten to this point, because there was a time where it was like, and you just said, "Can I help you?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you would open the door.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have to talk to the door.
That was it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
opened the door and went, "What's wrong? Can I
Yeah.
help you?" That was your first instinct.
Yeah.
And now we're all so hardened
Yep.
that we're like, "Oh,
That's the world we live in.
that broken leg looks like you did something wrong."
Yeah.
It's like, no, my car flipped over.
Yeah.
Quarter mile down
Yeah.
the road, I dragged my body
Yeah.
here. It's crazy.
Well, I'm glad it was nothing.
It was nothing. It was
Yeah.
a pat. And that's why he was going between those two houses,
Yeah.
because he's like, I know it's here, but I can't find it, and I need help.
Yeah.
And so when he went to the police station, they were like, "Oh, that makes sense. You had a Pikachu. It's missing." I go, "Of course
I was
you
playing
had
Pokemon Go and I thought I lost my Pikachu guy.
my Charmander."
Yeah.
You know, Like, who knows? So yeah, that's why. So there's the follow up to the story
Nice.
that from like what, a month ago?
Yeah,
5
something like
weeks
that.
ago?
Yeah.
There we go. We're out.
We're done. We've done it.
We've done another episode.
Yes. I guess Stu's not showing up.
Well, if he is, he'll be watching football, which apparently everything had gone to pot. I don't understand what happened. I lost everything.
Let's fix that.
Too much Taylor Swift tracksuits, I guess.
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out though, because I know it's early. It's very early, but I do want to bring up the fact that we are looking for growers.
Yes.
And
That's what we need most of all.
so every year we do the M4K Richmond. We raise money for children's charities here in the Richmond area.
Big money.
And we do so by growing mustaches. It's actually super easy. You grow a mustache, which you can already do.
Yes.
You look like an asshole for a month,
People give you money.
and people give you money, and you raise money for children's charities, and all of the money that you raise goes directly to those charities. None of the money ends up in M4K Richmond coffers. It goes straight to the charities. And we vet the charities, and we find the best children's charities here in the Richmond area, and we donate this money. So we've been doing this for years. And the most important thing we can do is actually get new growers.
Yes.
And a grower is quite simply somebody who tries to raise money and grows a mustache. It's super easy. But what we're looking for is people to join the Inside the Pallet House podcast team.
The finest team in all the land.
And when you join this particular team, granted, the group itself, the M4K guys, are a ton of fun. You get swag, you get cool hats, shirts,
T-shirts.
Stuff like that. But you do find like this interesting group of guys that are from all over, from all walks of life here in the Richmond area that are doing this.
Great networking.
And this is an opportunity to meet some of these people and get involved and do something genuinely good. But if you join our team, then you actually get the opportunity to
Hang out with us.
hang out with us. But we do things a little differently here. Not only do we grow, but we actually throw parties during the year. We come over here. We fire up one Sunday. Hopefully we'll be smoking a pig, doing something crazy. But we do like feats of strength and like crazy bets. We bet on football games and we give all the money to charity. Like, it's a good time.
Very much
all of it is done for a good cause. So you'll be hearing us in November asking you to donate. But here in October, we're going to bring up for the next couple weeks that this is an opportunity for you to get involved with M4K and with us specifically to actually grow our team, grow a mustache, and raise money for children's charities here in the Richmond area. So if you are interested in said things, reach out to insidethepallethouse@gmail.com. Let us know that you want to grow. We'll send you the information. We'll get you the link to our team so you can sign up and then you can be part of it.
Boom.
It's pretty simple.
Yep.
You grow a mustache, and then we literally will help you write the emails, do outreach, like whatever we can do to
hold
help
your hand and walk you through it.
We will. By the time you're done,
You'll be a grander.
you'll raise over $1,000 for
you'll
children's
feel
charities here in
amazing.
the area. And then at the end of the year, you get to go to one of those bitchin' parties ever, the Stash Bash, where you get to wear a stupid ass costume and show your mustache off for all the world to see.
And the growing season for this year is literally November 1st. Stash Bash is December 1st. It's
That's
1
awesome.
month.
So it's truly a month this
Yep.
year. I dig it. So join us this year. Raise some money for charity. It's a good cause. Next month, if you haven't started growing with us, we'll just be hitting you up for money.
That's right.
Now, though, if you want to send money to us, you can do so with Venmo.
Yes, at Inside the Pout House. And it's also Halloween season. Go see Ray at any Spirit Halloween.
Oh, good call.
Support them. They do a lot for local charities as well.
Good call. And if you need sunglasses, no charity involved.
Nope.
But their sunglasses are made out of recycled plastic. Head over to nectarsunglasses.com. Drop Abacus in the coupon code. You'll get 20% off what's already a reasonably priced podcast. Sunglasses. And if you need a mortgage, head over to screendoormortgage.com and Jimmy will take care of you. He'll get you a hell of a mortgage. A difficult thing for many people.
Yeah.
He makes very simple.
He's got it figured out.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Dude, that red horse is tough.
Yeah.
It's strong, like a bull. Like a red horse.
Red Bull.
Boom.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?